Did you know that the most experienced darts players face slumps? We're talking about those frustrating stretches where everything just feels off. It could be so bad that what used to feel like muscle memory suddenly requires intense focus, and still, the results don't follow. For many, this phase creeps in quietly. One off day becomes two, and before long, confidence begins to reduce. Welcome to today's Darts Decoded, where we will give you tips on how to overcome a weak phase in darts and bounce back like nothing ever happened. Brace up, because this is going to be an interesting ride. Now here's the thing, every darts player goes through this season, but what separates the strong from the struggling is not whether slumps happen, but how quickly and effectively you can bounce back. This is not about magic tricks or waiting for it to pass. It's about taking smart, deliberate actions that realign your game physically, mentally, and emotionally, and that's exactly what we're about to show you. The first step to overcoming a weak phase is understanding why it's happening in the first place. Slumps don't occur in a vacuum. They're often caused by one or more specific factors. Sometimes the issue is technical, a change in grip pressure, a release that has become rushed, or a stance that's no longer balanced can subtly drag your game down. These issues can sneak in over time, especially if you've been playing a lot without reviewing your fundamentals. Recording yourself, or simply throwing in front of a mirror, can help you see flaws you've become blind to, but it doesn't end there. Other times, the problem lies more in the mind than the hand. Loss of confidence and performance anxiety can take away your focus. The irony is that overthinking your throw can be just as destructive as not thinking at all. A smooth, natural motion quickly becomes robotic, and the board starts to feel miles away. You'd think it'll stop there, but no. Then comes the issue of motivation. When practice feels repetitive or progress stalls, boredom is likely to set in. What's worse is that this mental fatigue can lower your energy and drive without you even realizing it. That was just an introduction. Now, here's where most players see real improvement. Have you ever felt like no matter how hard you try, your darts just won't land right? You're not alone, and luckily, this next phase offers real solutions. Beyond technical and mental issues, the physical side of things shouldn't be ignored. That's because factors like poor sleep, long work days, stress, and even poor hydration can all impact your focus and coordination. Darts requires a good level of control and a relaxed body. When you're running low on energy, it shows. That's why the next best move when you're stuck in a slump isn't always to power through. In fact, it's often the opposite. Taking a short break, maybe a few days off, can work wonders. It interrupts the cycle of frustration and gives your body and mind a chance to reset. During that time, don't completely disconnect from the game, but do allow yourself to rest. Watch darts for inspiration, revisit your favorite matches, or read about players who've gone through similar phases. When you come back, don't dive back into your usual routine. Instead, shake things up. If you thought the previous tip was helpful, wait until you hear the next one. It's a real game changer. Changing your practice routine can spark new motivation and refresh your brain. Try aiming for different targets or building creative games around the board. When fun re-enters your practice, so does energy, and energy is likely to fuel improvement. If you're finding this helpful so far, go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss more practical dart strategies like this. We break things down so you can level up without overcomplicating your training. Now that you've got the basics down, let's take it steps further. No matter how advanced your game is, there's never a wrong time to go back to the basics. Stripping your throw down to its most essential parts can rebuild the consistency that slumps tend to erode. Focus on throwing with ease rather than precision. Let the dart fly without forcing it. Work on big, comfortable targets, like single 20s or 16s, and just let your form settle back into something that feels natural. To get the most out of the first tip, you'll want to pay close attention to this next step. This is also a perfect time to slow everything down. A rushed throw can feel right in the moment, but it often masks deeper problems. When you slow your rhythm, you gain control. You begin to notice how the dart leaves your hand, how your feet are planted, and whether your release is clean. These micro adjustments, repeated with patience, are often the fastest route back to form. That helps, but what do you do when you lose focus? This next tip has the answer. Another game-changing approach is to train smarter, not harder. Long, grueling sessions can do more harm than good, especially if you're reinforcing bad habits. Instead, opt for short, focused sessions with a clear intention. Maybe one day, you zero in on doubles. Another day, you work on grouping or checkout practice. This makes each throw count and avoids the fatigue that can drain both motivation and performance. Mixing in variety keeps things fresh and your brain engaged. You might try using your non-dominant hand for a few throws to challenge your coordination or play on a different board setup. Even small shifts in routine can re-energize your brain and keep practice from feeling stale. But stay tuned, because the next tip is a hidden gem most people overlook. When you're in a slump, your mindset takes a beating. That's why a mental reset is just as important as a physical one. Remind yourself that every player, even world champions, goes through dry spells. This isn't a sign that you're broken. It's part of the game. One incredibly effective strategy is to look back at your own highlights. Watch clips or review stats from times you played well. This is tangible proof of your skill and potential. Let it rebuild your self-belief. But there's more. Visualization is another powerful tool. Before you throw, close your eyes and see the dart hitting your target. Feel the movement. Rehearse the success in your mind and let your muscle memory take over. These small mental cues can make a huge difference in confidence and control. Want to take this even further? Professional darts players like Luke Littler have reached the top because they understand secrets to visualization that many others might not. Want to learn how to have full control of your nerves so you never stop winning? Our Never Nervous Again guide is packed with actionable tips to help you build a practice routine for long-term improvement. Click the link in the description. Now let's move to some hard truth. None of the tips earlier mentioned will work if your lifestyle is dragging your performance down. The basics like sleep, hydration, proper nutrition matter more than most players realize. A dehydrated or tired body simply can't perform at a high level. Stretching, light exercise, or even a short walk before a session can help release tension and improve your coordination. Reducing screen time before practice also helps. Our brains are bombarded with stimulation all day. Giving your mind space to breathe before picking up darts improves focus in a real way. Pay attention to this next tip. Don't underestimate the power of competition to reignite your passion and sharpen your skills. Solo practice can only take you so far. Playing actual matches, whether in local leagues, online tournaments, or casual games with friends, introduces pressure, excitement, and urgency. Sometimes the best cure for a slump is the adrenaline rush that comes from a real opponent. Especially when you play against someone better than you, your brain is forced to adapt and you grow faster. You start to remember why you loved the game in the first place. Remember that slumps don't define your skill, rather, how you respond to them does. Every dip is just a setup for a new breakthrough. So if you're stuck in a weak phase right now, let this be your signal. Pause, reset, and rebuild with purpose. And there you have it, Darts Decoded's How to Quickly Overcome a Weak Phase. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like the video. Also subscribe to Darts Decoded and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on our tips. Got any questions or tips of your own? Drop them in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Also check out our video on how to improve your darts accuracy fast to find out more insightful tips on how to aim better. Thanks for watching, and as always, watch, learn, and win.